Hi everyone, how are you? Today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and today's question of the day is... Let me double check my wording. It says, if you could be any Marvel character for a day, superhero or villain, who would you be? And I asked this because I've been working on those paintings, right? But I've been wanting to watch something to listen to while I do it, and I've been going through all the Marvel movies, which I am done with them now. But I'm in the middle of season 2 of Loki at the moment. But let's go ahead and scroll on up, see who's here. Let's see. Emily says, hi, Emily and everyone. Bit early, would love to be Scarlet Witch. That's fair. I was trying to think, like, I'm leaning towards America Chavez, the girl that can jump in, like, between the multiverse. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'd want like telekinesis, but I'd want something that I can still like benefit from after I'm not, you know, a superhero or a villain or whichever. Hi, Sigrid. Let's see. Yes, for the commands. Yeah, it has to start before they'll work. Let's see. Linda, hello. Mrs. Butterfly, hello. Superhero with Thor. Love it. It would be cool to go to Asgard. I'm down for that. Let's see. Vicky, hello. Let's see. Definitely Wanda. We got a few Wandas. Love it. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Let's see. Britt, Maylin, hello. Let's see. Natalie, hello. Just double checking. Josephine, good morning. Kim, good morning. Okay, Mona, good morning. I think I caught up with everyone. Marcy, good morning. So if I missed anyone, I apologize. So yeah, we're gonna dive straight in here in just a second, but no real announcements. It's been very busy. School pickup has been interesting. The school has been trying have been trying new ways of car pickup line, and yeah, it's been spending a lot of time in the car. Anyway, but it's also allowing me to get like digital work done because when I am home and I have the time, I'm working on paintings. So this one is finished. I do not like the frame on it though. This is one of the frames I got before the painting was done, and I couldn't quite find a white frame that I was happy with because I want it to be white. So what I might end up doing is painting the frame itself because this is like an unfinished wood. There's no like stain on it or anything, but yeah, this kind of light pine or whichever it is does not go with the yellow of the lemon. So thank you. So this will be getting a bit of a frame change, and then I have made progress on the other one. Literally any free time that I've had, I've been working on these because as you can see, I'm about halfway there, which I know sounds crazy, but like even as it is today, I won't really have time to work on this until this evening, and then I'll have about 2.5 hours before I get tired and I need to go to bed. But, you know, I'm making progresses. This one was, this little shell here was last night's big achievement. It was something else, but thanks, Mercy. And the cool thing is, well, no, I guess these are actually bigger than they are in real life. Actually, I'll show you real quick. One second. Take off my mic here and I'll show you that shell and why it's so difficult. So if you guys were here before, you know that I got these shells when we were at the coast. You know, I got fragments of shells, so I wasn't like taking anything from any sea creatures, but that one, hang on, let me see if I can find it, because I've got like this box of shells here. So like we've got a green one here that's going to be used this. Well, I guess it's about, yeah, I guess a lot of these it is like life size. Like these purple ones are there. And that greenish blue one, where is it? Hang on, because I wanted to show you. There's like really cool pitting on it, but I suppose I shouldn't spend the whole stream. You know, we're just waiting for people to come in, that's all. Ugh, I can't find it. See, if you can't tell, I've got this whole box of the shells here. Yeah, life size. Thanks, Mrs. Butterfly. So I was trying to find this one here. But yeah, see, here's this one there. Obviously the greens are a little bit brighter on the painting, but it's okay if it doesn't match completely. Like, it's my painting, I make the rules. Anyway, there's a lot of pitting on the shell, which definitely made it a little bit more, oh, here it is. Okay. There we go. So the lighting's not quite right with it, but you can see there's all those little holes. So that's that one, except a touch more green. Oh, thank you. Good morning, Trey. How long does it take to do a shell? Depends on how complicated it is. Obviously this one with the little pitting took a while. It's actually a dress. It's a dress. But I'm just gonna set these back here. But I'd say an average of about 10 to 15 minutes per shell. And that's just based on that little reel that I posted yesterday. But the issue is, oh, thanks. Nice, Trey. The issue is, it's just lack of time, because like between all of the like school runs and work runs that I do in the morning and then go to pick up the kids, max in the morning I can have about 4 hours if it's a good day to work on it, and then in the evening I can take just a couple hours. So yeah, it's just a matter of finding time. I think I can still get it done though. My deadline is the 31st, the end of the month. But on the plus side, with all the time I've been spending in the car, I've been making a lot of progress on this month's sticker club. So it's definitely been a balance. I will be excited to exhale next month once this is all done. I mean, part of it, it's my own fault because I should have worked on it earlier and I just didn't anticipate how much time it was going to take. So if you guys ever hear me say, oh, it's a couple months away, I have time, can you guys remind me and say, hey, you don't actually have that much time. You should probably get a move on. But I think it'll look really cool when it's done. I have a 11 by 14 frame. Oh, nice, Sigrid. That's this same wood, which I think will look really nice with this because it's almost got like a bit of a driftwoody feel. Anyway, so that's where we're at with those paintings. Having a blast, but also very, very busy. Your pencil changed color. That means that you have been subbed for, oh, like on Twitch if you hover over it. But it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. No, indigo and violet. So what is it? Hang on, because that indicates how many months you've been a member for. So let's see. The purple one is the third to last one. So it's not letting me pull it up. Anyway, but yeah, so it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and then we have like cyan or diamond, and then we have pink. So third to the end. Let's see. Oh, how's your bunny? Hang on. Yeah, chilling, hanging up. Once it's attached to the square, it doesn't do a whole lot. I have not caught up on any squares yet. As you can tell, I've been very busy, but I plan to have them done. But this is why I give myself 1 to 2 weeks to get done. But we are going to dive straight in here because I want to get this cabinet done. So if you, good morning, Renee, and if I missed anyone coming in, I apologize. So almost out of both things. Oh, you're almost out of coloring books? I know. I've never finished a coloring book. Oh, that's not in focus. Okay, so if you were here last time, you know that we kind of planned out a tea cabinet for these to go into. We added a little bit of white gouache on the outside to help with the green. We framed it a little bit and cut off just the bottom part of the teapot because it's like it's on a shelf behind it. But we are actually going to start with some more gouache because one of the things I want to do is I want this thing here to be kind of like an applique. Yeah, hang on. We're going to see if we can, oh no, that's about right. And so I want this to be like a design that's kind of raised from the wood. So we're actually going to cover up the black lines of this little butterfly thing here. So I've got my handy dandy palette that has been well loved. Oh, that one came loose. Well loved with the painting that I've been doing. So we're going to grab some of this white and we're just going to cover that up real quick. What do we got? Tassel charm, yay! Congrats. Okay, so I didn't get a cup and water. I just grabbed a water pen. This is just a standard Arteza pen. Hi, Miss Scones. So we are going to get that ready because I knew we weren't doing a ton of painting today and I just wanted to get this covered. So we've got our white here. Sounds good, Renee. Okay, I don't want it too wet. I actually really haven't used water pens all that much with the gouache. All right, doesn't need to be like perfectly whited out, but because I kind of want it to blend into the wood, I need to make sure that it's faded enough that it doesn't super stand. Now we're gonna dab that just a little bit. I feel like with a regular paintbrush, you have a little bit more control over how much water gets released. So I don't think I'd ever use a water brush like in the paintings, but it is really handy when you're activating like watercolor pencil or Inktense because the pigment is already there. And we're doing this first so it can have time to thoroughly dry before we start filling it in. So I was thinking about how we want, or like how I want to do the colors. So I'm pretty sure the front of the cabinet is going to be a brown, and then the back wall of the cabinet is going to be very dark green. We have some nice dark greens in the Caran D'Ache set, so that is what we're going to be using. I'll look up a chat here in just a second. We have a heat gun here because I can see the paper is buckling just a little bit because I put too much water, so we're going to dry it with the heat gun before anything goes on top of it. Because it's hard to get things even if it's buckling. Hi Caramel, welcome. And again, if I missed anyone, I apologize. So, like I said, I might actually dry it now so that, because the thing of it is, coloring books are not meant for like, well, it's not that they're not meant for water medium. It's just that you have to remember that it's not watercolor paper and that it's not canvas. Most of the higher end books, like Kirby, the Hannah Carlson and all those ones, their paper is thick enough that it can usually handle a certain degree of wet medium, but you just have to be careful not to add too much water, and it really helps to dry in between. So I'm just trying to go careful here. We're gonna dry this real quick. You can use a blow dryer if you have it, but I really like using the heat gun. Mystique from the X-Men, ooh, that's cool. My last 2 pages in Johanna Basford Rooms of Wonder, nice, Sigrid. Recently did a background on a Kirby page and it was fabulous too. Yeah, Kirby's books are fabulous for it. I did a whole like Mars kind of space one that was loaded with watercolor. Oh, hang on. Sorry, water went down the wrong pipe. I didn't think you wanted to hear that. Okay, let's grab more of that white. Okay, I am tempted just to grab a paintbrush because this is putting out so much water. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna use our handy dandy paintbrush here that I have been using pretty consistently for a lot of my paint. Yeah, we're getting a lot more paint and a lot less water using the brush. So water brushes are great for activating and, you know, painting in a pinch. But if you have the option for a regular paintbrush, I highly recommend. I know that I don't have a cup of water here, but what I did do is I have a little spray bottle of water that I sprayed on the palette so that it's already wet. And since I'm not changing colors, it'll be fine. And then I can rinse the paintbrush. Okay. Getting there. Yeah, you just have so much more control with a physical brush. I can't wait to show you guys those finished paintings. I think they're gonna look really cool. And nobody like on Instagram or TikTok or anything has asked, and I think most of you know, but the reason I'm doing these paintings is because I am doing a art gallery competition thing. It's got a bunch of different parts, and one of the parts includes applying to be in a one-day gallery show. And so the thing of it is I'm finishing these and then I will submit the application with them. But there's still a chance that if they decide that it doesn't fit with their theme or that it's not really what they're looking for, I might not even end up in the gallery show. So I was thinking about what I'll do with them if it's not accepted. And I haven't decided if I just want to hang it up myself, because I mean, after all the work that I've put into it, or like sell it otherwise. But I don't know, it's 11 by 14, it's big, so I feel like selling it like online would be complicated because it's so huge. You know, things that are like 5 by 7 are easy enough to put in the mail. Yeah, see, all of this was done with the water brush and it clearly had too much water. I don't need it perfectly blacked out, but a little bit of it would be nice. We're using the Lumies, which are really soft, so it should go over it pretty well. Yeah, I should have just grabbed a regular brush to begin with. So we're going for subtle lines for sure. Let's see. I started my college class last night. It's a 3D modeling animation class. Our first assignment is to build graphics for a Minecraft world using the animation software builder. Oh, that's cool. What's the animation software that you're using? Gosh, I have not had time to do any Minecraft in like months. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just school started now, and you know, I'm chauffeuring everybody around and doing all the things, and does not leave a whole lot of downtime. And honestly, because we're up so early, I've been crashing like practically I try to do no later than 10 o'clock, but I'm usually, you know, summertime I'm up much later than that, generally because I'm working on something. But yeah, it's just, I'll be glad when things kind of die down, because they just switched the car pickup line stuff, so it's going to take a little while for that to kind of everybody to get in a good rhythm for it. But otherwise, I'm enjoying the painting when I can do it. Okay, I think that's good enough. It's absorbing so much. Let's do this side over here real quick. So I think that'll work, because we're going to be putting pencil over the top of this. So if you are covering up lines and you're not really sure what paint to use, what you want to use is gouache. Not watercolor isn't going to work. Acrylic will cover it, but it'll also be really glossy, so you won't be able to cover the lines as well. All right, that's good enough. Any more and it's just not going to, the paper is going to start to break down a bit. Okay, let's give it a quick try, or not try, dry, a quick dry. We're gonna dry it with the heat gun, but we'll start on the outside to give it even more time to settle here. See, we already finished, well, sort of already finished this. I need to finish the right side of it. The amount of work in progresses I have is kind of insane. But I'm drying the opposite side of the paper too, in hopes of helping out. Gosh, that just did not cover it well. I should not have put that much water to begin with the water brush, but I think it'll be good enough. Words are hard. It's called Blender. Oh, interesting. Thanks. Okay, not quite there yet. It was just a lot of water. You never do water, and that's fine. That's fine. To each their own. All right, we're gonna let that air dry the rest of the way. Oh, that's cute, Emily. Bunch of whips or abandoned pages. Yeah, that's kind of me a lot. Okay, so let's talk browns and greens. So like I said, the front of the cabinet is going to be brown and the back of it is going to be green. So we're definitely going to be bringing in, let's see, there's the dark phthalocyanine green. Oh my gosh, some of these names. And if you need a chart for your Lumies, you can find this on my website. But so we have this one, but this one's a bit of a warm green, and I definitely want a cooler green. So I'm thinking dark sap green, malachite green, no, dark sap green and dark English green. I don't think we need an even lighter one because we're gonna make this pretty dark. Okay, so that will be the background. And for the browns, let's do sepia for sure. And then we'll do, let's see, what do I like? Brown ochre might not be bad. I want a little bit of a cooler brown, but maybe, actually, we could do sepia. We could do Warm Earth 40 and let's see, let's do Warm Earth 70, Warm Earth 40, and sepia. I think that'll work. Oh, good. I've colored along for the kettle, but I'm sure about the cabinet. Let's see how easy you make it look. Okay, challenge accepted. All right, so let's see. What did I say? We're going to do dark sap green. I don't have it out already. Let's see. Dark. Yes, dark sap green. Okay, then we're going to do dark English green. We'll have to get a pencil extender for this one. And then let's do, so for our browns, what did I say? We're going to do sepia. Let's see, sepia is number 407. Oh, I got a bigger sepia. We're going to use that. And then let's get the Warm Earth 70. Is this one here? Yes, Warm Earth 70. And then we're going to get Warm Earth 40, which is number 745. Let's also grab a black. Yeah, and then do I want purple? No, we'll leave it there. Yeah, it's a wonderful set. Use my pencils and do grayscale page, just not now. Grayscale is fun. Oh, it sounds good, Brooke. Thank you for being here. And if I missed any coming in, I apologize. Welcome, welcome all. Okay, this is still mildly damp, so we're gonna leave that corner alone and we're gonna start at the bottom first. So last time we did some lines of gouache. It's hard to see. Yeah, just go for it. It's hard to see, but we did do some lines of gouache to kind of change up the texture a little bit so that this all would match. So let's actually start with, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have been popping my knuckles. Oh yeah, I have to do that, Cece, absolutely. So we're gonna start with the dark sap green, and then we're going to get a pencil extender for this little fella. I always end up setting stuff next to where I need to open my drawers. Don't mind me. I'm just making a mess. It's cool. Okay, let's see. Gonna loosen this a bit. There we go. Love it. All right. Actually, I needed to sharpen this because it's really hard to sharpen with a pencil extender because sometimes the pencil can slide. So we're going to give that a quick sharpen. And we may have to switch up like to malachite green if we run out of this. Oddly enough, I just ordered a couple extra Lumies, but I didn't think to grab this one. Okay, so we're going to start with the background while we wait for that to dry. Now I'm imagining, you know, like when you open up a like someone's office desk Right, Kelly? Someone's office desk, and inside the drawer, there's that kind of dark green, almost like casino green, kind of velvety style. That's kind of what I'm imagining in my head, except it's going to be darker. Bring this light down just a bit. Okay, so we are going to start with the 739 Dark Sap Green. Now, the darkest part is going to be directly under this shelf and probably behind the teapot. So we're going to try to add a little bit of shadow as well. We didn't make any strong light pointing towards the teapot. I'm going to tilt this just a little bit. So I wouldn't say that we need to make really dark shadows, but we can make a bit of a shadow just to give it a little bit of depth. So like I said, we already sketched out our cabinet design last stream. So if you want to see how we did that or what we, because I kind of talked you through it when we did it, you can always go back and watch last stream, or at least the beginning of it. Probably about, 30 minutes in? Right? It's so pretty. So we're going to start out light, but we're going to end up doing more layers. We probably won't do as many layers as we did on the teapot because it's such a large space. We won't really need to. But we will do at least a couple, and then we have our blender. And no, I am not coloring in the same direction, but it's because by the time we're done layering, it's not really going to matter what direction we color in. But if you are a stickler about it, you can do little circles instead, and it helps not make it streaky if you're not adding as many layers. But by the time we're done, you're not even going to know which direction I colored. So for the shadow, let's do a little bit. We're going to have the shadow on the left-hand side of the teapot. And I know I'm not zooming in even closer, but that's partially because we're going to be moving around this whole kind of box area. Let's see. Have you had any sickness the last couple days? Not gonna lie, I'm fighting off a bit of a migraine, and it's super fun right now. But aside from that, no. It's the hardest, the layering, in my opinion. That's fair. That's fair. I do lines, sometimes go fast circles. Yeah, exactly. And when I put enough of them, on, you can't really tell. Oh, it happens. It happens, honestly. Like Steve says the same thing, but at this point, like, and this probably sounds worse, migraines are such a day-to-day common thing for me that it's just kind of, it's functional pain. If that's a thing, I don't know. It'll go away eventually. Not too worried. All right, so we're gonna bring this up behind here. Like I said, it'll have a little bit of a shadow. And we'll do the shape. Now this is further back. This is further back. So something like the handle, the shadow of it is actually probably gonna have a little bit of separation, and it's not going to be right up next to it. But it's also not gonna be super strong. It'll be kind of a subtle shadow. To my operation? Do you mean for the thing that's hanging out in my eye? Well, they're not operating on that just because it's too close to my optic nerve, and according to the neurologist, no, it is not the cause of my migraines. I mean, let's put it this way. At this point, I've been eating right. I've had no extracurricular, no refined sugars. I'm exercising. So when you know you've ticked all those boxes and you're drinking plenty of water, it's like trying to figure out where you got a cold from. It just starts to be exhausting trying to figure it out, and rather than wasting the energy trying to answer something that you're not going to be able to answer, I don't know. I just keep trucking along. Moving on. Yep, another day, another headache. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. But I'm not going to lie, you guys. I almost canceled today, but I was like, I'm not going to let it win. It'll be fine. But I am pleased with how much progress I'm making on that painting. I've got one more weekend. I told Steve, just because during the week I'm not having as much time as I would like to work on it. So I told Steve that this weekend I really want to buckle down and work on just that to try and get that finished. So fingers crossed that by a week from now, next Wednesday's stream, I'll be able to show you and be like, it's done, ta-da! So that's the goal. Okay, so right now we are just creating, like I said, the shadow. We'll probably bring in some black with it as well. So let's see, let's bring it over here because we're gonna have a little bit of a closer shadow from the spoon. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we did these little things here. Thanks, Christine. Let's see. Make prints or cards of the shell image. I'm thinking I will, because like I said, it's gonna hopefully go in the gallery show, and it'll be a one-day sale. So it's not even like it'll be up in a gallery for a month long, but I'm working hard enough on it and I'm really enjoying it that, yeah, I probably will do prints, but I need to figure out the specifics of the prints, because anytime I have like there's a couple gouache artists that I follow, and anytime they do prints, they use a really special like print on it, and they have it on like vellum, like it's really fancy. So if I'm gonna do prints, I want to make sure that it's high quality prints that are going to last a while. So I need to do the research on that, but I will be scanning it in before I submit it to the show. And then go from there. And honestly, if it makes it in, I'll probably tell you guys, I was thinking about it, and I think I probably will tell you guys what the show is, because, well, I don't know. I'll have to check and see if things can be, like if the painting can be purchased online, or if it's strictly an in-person sale show. Sounds good, Elise. Let's see. Hold on, I missed something up top. Exactly, Sigrid, exactly. Thanks, Cece. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm really excited to see it finished. I just wish I could pay faster, because Steve, being the wonderful man that he is, like, he knows that, you know, half my day is spent, you know, dropping people off, picking people up, car runs, all this kind of stuff. And so, like, he can't do any of that because he has to be at work, obviously. But like last night, he was just like, is there anything I can do to like help you? And I'm like, unfortunately not. Like I'm the only one, it's my painting, so I need to finish it. And it's just a matter of like finishing it. So it's definitely been a challenge, but it's also like a fun challenge. Like I can see, it's really fun to see how much growth I've had since I started doing art every single day. And honestly, like doing the stickers and coloring and drawing and illustrating and all that, it's really moved me to a point where like I can see how this painting's gonna be at the end, because I don't think that my brain, you know, 5 years ago could have brained doing this kind of painting, because there are so many details. But there's a way that you kind of change your thought process when you start doing more detailed stuff like that, because you can't, whatever you're painting, if it has a ton of detail, you can't really look at it as a whole. You have to break it down and look at it as parts. Like, okay, well, up in the, you know, right hand corner, you know, a 1/4 inch of this is this color. And to get your colors down, you kind of have to map out the whole picture. Right? Oh no, he absolutely is. He's absolutely wonderful with this. Let's see. Migraine always start with wrong pin in my eye and then moves to the cheekbone and then the jaw. It's already, oh yeah. You know, actually, I haven't had that many. We're going to use that lighter green, the dark English green. I haven't had that many recently. And I think a big part of it is I have cut out refined sugars like completely. Aside from my, I pressed a little bit harder on that part right there. Aside from my creamer that I put in my daily coffee, I really don't have anything. Like I haven't been doing soda, like cookies, or like absolutely none. I've been making these muffins because part of the reason that sometimes I would just default to cereal is because, you know, we're out of the house no later than 7 in the morning. And unless, you know, I don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So most of the time I get up at 6, but I take my coffee to go and I need to take food to go and like all that stuff. So I've been making these muffins that I found a recipe for, and it has like, I think I might have mentioned to you guys already, but it has like carrot and zucchini and raisins and cinnamon. Like they're delicious and they're wonderful. And I only put like a drizzle of honey in them, which is about as close to refined sugar as I'll get these days. It calls for like a 1/4 cup of honey, but I put a fraction of that just because I put dried fruit in it also. It's got almond flour and walnuts, and so it's got a little bit of protein from that, but they have been fabulous and they've really helped to curb that kind of need to snack on things that aren't necessarily great for me. Right? They're great. Well, the funny thing is, The pieces part, exactly. In fact, I'm not great at naming paintings, but I've already thought of what I want to name this one with the shells, and I'm going to call it Fragments, because that's a big part of how I've learned to do this, is you break it down into sections, and they're pieces of broken shell. So I thought Fragments kind of fit it perfectly. But it has like zucchini, apple, carrot, banana. It has almond flour, because it's a gluten-free muffin. It has almond flour, Bob's Red Mill measure for measure flour, and then like I put the walnuts in it. So it's just jam-packed with vegetables. But little Emily also likes them, but she doesn't like seeing the zucchini. So the zucchini gets turned into, you know, sauce, like an applesauce. So basically she can't see it, but she still likes the flavor. Right? That's what I was thinking. So it's a super moist muffin. I put too much zucchini in it. Not this current time, but the time before. And oh my gosh, it was the wettest muffin. It was cooked all the way through, but it was the wettest muffin on the planet. So I was just like, all right, I need to make a few changes, but I've tweaked the recipe a little bit, and I put dried cherries and raisins in it. But I also put oatmeal in it, because oatmeal also helps to be filling. So you've got fiber, you've got protein, you got your veggies. Like it's great. So I've really been enjoying that. And then, we've been trying to do less, because the kids usually get some sort of treat in their lunchbox at school. And, we've been trying to do less like store-bought treats and more Mama Makes treats, which next time I tell you guys I have a deadline in a couple weeks and I say I'm going to redo the kids' bedroom and make a bunch of baked goods, tell me to take a step back on those, because oh my gosh, like I spent like 2 or 3 days really just deep cleaning one of the kids' rooms, and we redecorated it, we painted her dresser, like we did all this stuff. Meanwhile, I've got this looming deadline, and then I'm just like, oh well, you got testing this week? Okay, we'll do, because they really dislike testing because it's such a pain. And so I told them that like I'd have, you know, special treats made for testing weeks. Anyway, I may have overstretched myself just a skosh, but one of the things that I chose to make, because it wasn't going to take a long time, was there is a shortbread recipe in the Betty Crocker cookbook. And if you know shortbread, you know it's literally just like flour, butter, and sugar. Like that's it. And then I dipped them partially in chocolate as well. So those have been their treats for this week. I forgot who said it, but every time someone mentions muffins or breakfast time, muffins are just an excuse to have cake. Oh my gosh, right? Okay, so there was, so I mean, most of you know that I do gluten-free. So, unless I have a good recipe, a lot of times I'll get like the boxed gluten-free stuff if I'm making something, because you know it's got the xanthan gum and all of the fancy stuff that you need in it. I'm not going to go right up next to it. I think we're going to use a white, and we're going to do like a softer, lighter green near the steam to kind of indicate a little bit more steam around it. Anyway, it was oh, what's the brand? It's the Yellow Box. I eat their crackers. Anyway. But the point is, they had this muffin mix, and on the box it wrote, oh no, Emily, it wrote muffin and cake mix. And I'm just like, wait, it can be muffin or cake, so the difference is you're just adding frosting? And I was just like, can't call us out like this. This is our socially accepted, you know, cake muffins. But when it says that this is cake or muffins, that just tells you how much sugar is in the muffins. I'm like, well, now I feel guilty for eating muffins. I was just like, wait a minute, that's rude. Socially acceptable breakfast cupcakes. That's what they are now. And I'm like, come on now. Let me have my muffins. Anyway, it's just hilarious. But that's one of the reasons that I'm loving these muffins, because I feel like I can eat them any kind of, you know, whether it's a snack for breakfast or whatever. And I know that I don't need to feel guilty about it because there's like barely any sugar. It's loaded with vegetables, you know. Hang on one second. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat. Muffins are cupcakes without frosting. How dare they call us out on that? I want my socially acceptable breakfast cupcakes. But yeah, it has been really nice having them because they're super filling. Because I usually bring lunch with me in the car when I go to sit in the car pickup line. So like I'll do apples and peanut butter, crackers and hummus, or carrots and hummus, and then I'll pack one of the muffins. I got this cute little lunch container that holds everything from H-E-B the other day. So. All right, so you can tell how this is kind of starting to get mapped out. We've got the sort of separated shadow, and now we're gonna go in with a second layer. Breakfast veggie cakes, there we go, exactly. Thanks, Dawn. Are the veggies chopped small? So the carrots and the apples were grated, but with the zucchini, I grated it at first, but then I was just like, okay, she's not gonna wanna see the zucchini in it because she's fine with it as long as she can't see it. So the banana and the zucchini were kind of chopped up, and also, well, not kind of, it was basically a applesauce mixture of the zucchini. But also because I put raisins and cherries in it, the dried cherries are bigger chunks. So I like to throw in the zucchini, the banana, and the cherries and the raisins, so that the cherries and the raisins can get chopped up just a bit, because I do it all in the food processor. So I don't like pulp the cherries and raisins, you know, within an inch of their life, but I do make them so that they're slightly smaller bites. The only other thing that little Emily has requested is that I make the walnuts so that she can't, like, she doesn't like the crunch, but like they're tiny little walnut bits, right? But she's like, can you chop the bump more? I'm like, all right, what else? She's actually really good at eating like her fruits and vegetables and everything. So I don't mind if it, you know, makes her want to eat them too, then I'm down with it. Now I just got to get little Steve to be comfortable with eating it. Right? Dried cherries are so good. I believe so. Yeah, courgette. That sounds familiar. Hang on, I want to look up the word courgette. Because I believe so. Courgette. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh, go figure. French to English. But yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah, it's zucchini squash. And so I don't get a giant one. It calls for like a cup of grated zucchini, a cup of grated carrots. We do one apple. We do one banana. Anyway, it's fabulous. And like I said, I'm kind of tweaking it every time that I make it, and it is just so good. I will, if I can remember it here, I'll put it on a sticky note. I will share the recipe in the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna put in muffin recipe, because I just have it screenshotted. I got it off a woman from Instagram. Right, Miss Scones? Yeah, I found it online. Right, Mercy? Yes, it was a very wet batter, and especially because with the zucchini, because most of you know that a zucchini is a very wet vegetable, like there's a lot of moisture to it. And so the issue was I had practically, because it was a big zucchini, and I was just like, oh, I'll just put the whole zucchini in. So I basically did double the zucchini initially, and I didn't squeeze out the moisture beforehand. And that's another reason why I added the oatmeal to it, because I thought that it would, my hope was that it would help to absorb some of the moisture. And it did, it absolutely did. But I think what I'll do for the next one, because it's not 100% perfect how I like it, but what I want to do for the next one is add more almond flour. And then, you know, I'll chop up the walnuts a little bit more for her. And I think that'll work. Oh, nice. This is tart with courgette and shimchi. Is it like goat cheese? Courgette with some garlic. Ooh, yeah. With some lardon. Yeah. See, I do love a good tart. I like it though because it's been a lot easier to make and whip up, and then it lasts me for a couple days. So goat cheese. See, I love feta cheese, like the crumbly one. I love that too because I'll always put that on top of my hummus So I'm getting extra protein from that. And it's been really nice because it's left me because even the peanut butter that I have for the apples, it's not like a Jif peanut butter. It has like no sugar in it. It actually has no salt in it either. It's just basically ground peanuts, and it's great. So it's definitely a incredibly filling, low guilt lunch that I have been like eating every day and packed, and it's fabulous. So I was just like, all right, I can get on board with that. Okay, let's see. Let's do a little bit more of the dark English green, and then I think we'll use our blender to kind of see where it's at. And then, yeah, that's dry. So after we do this green, we'll get started on the wood on the front as well. There you go, Josephine. Ooh, roasted red pepper hummus. Oh no, Francis. Speaking of red pepper, I did actually find another recipe that I've been doing for, right, a midnight snack, that I've been doing for spaghetti. It is a roasted red pepper sauce. Now, most of the time we just purchase the spaghetti sauce in a jar. I had never, in fact, ever made my own spaghetti sauce from scratch. But basically what it is you take 3 of the big, not like the kind of oblong tomatoes, but like the on the vine tomatoes, the round ones. Ooh, nice, Emily. The round ones. So you take 3 of those. The recipe calls for 2 red peppers, but I do 1 because the kids aren't super thrilled with the taste of red pepper, but with the 1 pepper, they didn't mind it. Because it's not like a red pepper spicy at all. It just definitely changes the flavor. So you kind of rough chop up some onions, you rough chop the red pepper. Same with the tomatoes, you quarter it. Oh, very cool. Yeah. Oh, nice. Ooh, with mint. Ooh, that's interesting, Francis. But so it's got the red peppers, the tomatoes. You take a whole head of garlic, you chop off the top, and then I save a little basil for it afterwards. But let's see. So onion, tomatoes, red peppers, a whole thing of garlic. Oh, and cashews. And I haven't tried it with the cashews yet. But what you do is you roast them all together. Now, I don't have, I need to get a new blender, but I've been using my immersion blender for it. So you roast those in the oven, then you take them out, and then usually I move that to a stainless steel bowl or whatever, because everything's still pretty hot and I want to keep it hot. But then I'll go ahead and put that in there and then use the immersion blender, and it's so good. I'll put in some fresh basil after it's all blended up. And it is so much so that like little Emily does not really like spaghetti. She's just kind of like done with it. So it's not something that we do, but she really liked this. So we basically had, oh, there's tomato paste in it too. We basically have this fresh homemade, really just easy, quick chop, toss it in a pan, roast it in the oven for a little while. And then like, that's it. All I have to do is blend it up and it's done. Like it doesn't take any like extra chopping or anything. So that's definitely been a popular one. Last time we didn't do the cashews in it, but I guess what the cashews do is that it makes it more creamy. So we have cashews now. I'm going to make it at some point this week and do that. Right? So good. Kind of, but the basil doesn't get put in till afterwards, and I only put like 3 or 4 leaves. So like when I make pesto, I'll do a whole bunch of basil with olive oil and pine nuts, and so I think the difference is because it has so many tomatoes and the red pepper, and it's a lot less basil, that it's not quite a pesto. And it does have a little drizzle oil in it, but it's really good. Needless to say, I found some really good recipes recently. Francis. Yeah, thickens it and makes it creamy, because it was definitely lacking that, but I was only using like what I had at home at the time. So I was just like, well, I don't want to go to the store for cashews. So yeah. So yeah, when I've had time, I've definitely been doing, cooking and everything else. So basically my days are filled with cooking, cleaning, car runs, and painting. So there's that. But that's also why I haven't been doing any like off-stream coloring, because I've just been doing the painting. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use the blender now, and we're gonna smooth this out. We'll definitely need to add more layers, but for now, this is where we're gonna start with. That's not the blender, that's pink white. Right, I know, I'm all about cake. Favorite gluten-free pasta. The Barilla or Berea pasta is really good. I don't know. It's all kind of created equal for me. Some is made out of rice, some is made out of chickpeas, some's made in, I think there's lentil too, but I like, I don't know, I like a good rotini and penne, and there's a number of them. It's going to be 90 today. Oh my gosh, it was like 109 yesterday. I was saying that we've had a nice easy summer, but not anymore. Nice, Sigrid. The past few days, 50 degrees in the morning. Not to be dramatic, but happy Halloween. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it was 109 yesterday. Let's see, we've had like the excessive heat warning for a couple days now. Let's see. Yeah, excessive heat warning currently, and it is 95, and it's supposed to get up to, it's 95, but the feels like it's 105. So, you know, that's nice. Supposed to get up to 107 today, and that's not the feels like. We'll have to see what it's like this afternoon, but it's just so sad. Hi, Suzanne. Like, I really can't complain. I live in Texas, so hot summers are normal. It's just that we had such a mild summer already, and now the heat is finally catching up with us. But also, oh wait, we need to get that piece of paper to block it. I'm right there with you. Black on the heat. Just cut all my fresh vegetables, and now it's weak. I don't have. Oh, see, that's nice. Okay, hang on. We need to put a piece of paper behind here because we have these already colored pages, and it can transfer the color. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. What is your favorite brand of washi tape? So I have this washi tape here that I use, that I have on these pages that I use for stuff. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. And actually, Renee, do you remember when you sent me, or you know, Ev had got it, and you sent me that the pencil holder, and then in it there was a box of washi tape. Like, that was really good washi tape. But I purchased some Mr. Pen washi tape from Amazon, and it's just this. It's just plain. But number one, it feels more plasticky, and number two, it has no sticking staying power. Like, what is your guys' favorite washi tape to use? Like, I use it mostly for if I need to seal extra envelopes, or I need to, you know, tape my pages down, because it's a lot easier. Like, it's sticky, and it's not so sticky that it'll rip the paper, but it is sticky enough that it'll hold it when I'm doing painting and everything. So what brand of washi tape have you guys felt is the most successful? You get it at the same place, so Hobby Lobby? I don't know, like the Mr. Pen ones had such good reviews, and it wasn't just the one batch, because I bought a separate Mr. Pen one, these little ruler ones, and it's just not sticking well. Like, I don't know if it's just having a hard time gripping the paper or what. The color page was a disaster. It was fine. Ooh, okay. Oh no, Renee. Yeah, it was great. Oh my gosh, Renee, I still have some of it, and it came with those sheets of washi tape. Like, I've been like using that off and on since what? I've had this what? It's been like 2 years at least. Francis. I love it. I do love a good tart. And pie. Pie is good. Like lemon meringue pie. Delicious. All right, so we're just using this blender to kind of smooth this out. It is, you know, moving the pigment a little bit, so it is sort of quote unquote blending, but I always feel that more than anything, it's burnishing the page. And I want to be careful not to use blender on parts I haven't colored yet, because the pencil has a hard time, the pigment has a hard time adhering to the paper. So what we're going to do after we, because it's still way too streaky. So after we use the blender, then we're going to go in with another layer of pencil. And then, yeah, there's a fair amount of blending that we'll do. So, and I want to make sure we're not just doing the background today. When we're done with this part here, we're going to move, well, I guess we're doing all background, but as far as what we're adding, you know, this is the back of the tea cabinet. So when we're done with the back of the tea cabinet, we'll go straight up to the little applique over there, because I think that's going to be the most complicated coloring on the front of the shelf. I'll look up in chat here in just a second. I do like the pencil one because I put so much pressure on the blender when I'm doing this that it's nice that it doesn't just snap anymore. Did everyone's chat just disappear? I don't think so. You could just try refreshing. Oh, nice. I love good backgrounds, right? Lemon meringue is, oh, see, I also like to do slices of strawberry with it. You know what's funny is I've never had key lime pie, but I assume it's like a lemon meringue, but lime. Oh, of course, Sigrid, of course. I love sharing this with you guys. Okay. I've also been trying to think, because hand in hand with the, so if you're new here and you don't really know what I'm talking about, for the last few months I've been working towards a thing that I'm going to go to where I'm going to be doing a painting competition where I'm going to be live painting, and you have a set amount of time to do it, and then there's going to be the gallery show, but there's 2 live painting competitions. So I'm going to be doing that and hopefully the gallery show. Where did I put, oh, there it is. So that is what I'm working towards. So I've been trying to decide, like, because I want to like share the experience with you guys and everything. I'm just not quite sure like how much to share. There you go. Sounds good, Sigrid. Thanks for being here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this dark sap green. Obviously, this is not the way we want it to look in the final. It's quite a bit, it's very, very streaky, but we're going to fix that. Nice, Alex. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to press a little bit harder now. Our goal is to get a rich, vibrant color in the background, but also have it be a smooth blend. And we're probably going to bring in a little bit of black as well. Okay. So I'm pressing just a little bit harder where the shadow's going to go. But we're definitely going to get much darker. Oh, and the only other thing that I did off stream from last time is that I used some white gouache on the outline on the inside of the teapot. You're all good. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to tell you guys about, not related to art, but it's related to books. Okay, so most of you have it, if not seen, have probably heard of the Studio Ghibli movie, Howl's Moving Castle, right? Well, the other day I was going through the Audible Plus catalog because my credit doesn't come in to the end of the month, and so I was trying to like find something to oh, I didn't do that part. It's okay. We're gonna come over here anyway. And I didn't realize that Howl's Moving Castle was a book. I literally thought that it started with Studio Ghibli. They didn't. It's a book. And I don't know if you guys have read it, but it was really interesting. Like I say, I don't want to spoil it, but it's been out for ages. But and I've only seen it once, so I may be misremembering it, but there is a whole section in that book where it turns out that Howl is from Wales, and like his sister lives in Wales, and at one point they go to visit Wales, and he like brings his nephews a video game. Like there's all this stuff that happens, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, the basic gist of it, yeah, but I had no idea it was a book. It was a really interesting listen to think of like the differences between them. You do the math. Britt, we've had this conversation. I don't math. Yeah, well, and it was written in 1986, I think, which, yeah, he's definitely a bit more mysterious. 1986, which means that the book is actually as old as I am. So the book's 38 years old. But I just found it really interesting because I was just like, huh, I had no idea that it was a book previously. And there's more books in the series, but it got me wondering, like Totoro, what was the origin of Totoro? Or was that originally Studio Ghibli? Or does Studio Ghibli just do like all books? Because if that's the case, I kind of want to find all those books and go through that. Trying to stay awake. Oh, Leanne, you can rest. Britt, I'm just saying I'm old. Yeah, I'm starting to get all of the reels where it's just like, so, those of you born mid-80s there, how's that back pain? And it's just like, oh, man. There you go. There you go. And that's the funny thing is, like, I know that I'm closing in on 40, but it just doesn't feel that old. I remember when I was younger, 40 just seemed ancient, but now it's just like, it's basically 35, right? Isn't that how that works? All right, so it's still fairly streaky. So we're gonna actually go over this with, what do I wanna go over it with? You know, it might be nice actually if we went over it with the light malachite green or the middle verdigris. Not Poncho? Poncho had to be Little Mermaid. You gotta love typos. I definitely see those movies that I watched like as a kid with different eyes now that I am a parent and an adult. And also, like, part of me is like, oh, I want the kids to see the never-ending story. But then, like, there's Atreyu, and I don't know that I want to share that childhood trauma with them. Sounds good, Britt. Thanks for being here. Exactly, exactly. Okay. So we're just finishing layering this. We're going to start with the pink white for blending it because I want to soften this, but also kind of tie it in to the steam there. So we're going to grab the middle verdigris. I know it looks rough right now, but this is definitely a trust the process. Right? She's 16. I'm so glad they clarified it with Frozen. You can't marry a man you just met on a... Right? Oh, Stranger Things is good. Absolutely. Okay. So we're going to grab the... Yeah, we're going to do the middle verdigris. We're going to fill in this with the lighter green here next to it. And then we're going to smooth it out with the pink white. Ooh, let's bring it up. Let's bring it up here as well. Okay. Exactly, B. Exactly. All right, so pink white. So I am pressing harder now, but our goal is to kind of smooth these edges out, and it will in turn also soften the steam that we added to it. So I am pressing pretty hard, which is why it's important to have that piece of paper behind so that you're not transferring any pencil to the other pages. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the blender. Now, if you are continuing to burnish the paper, there will come a point where you won't be able to layer on top anymore, so just be cognizant of that when you're adding everything on top. Okay, so this inside needs to be a bit darker, so we're going to go back to our, drop my headphones, dark English green. Hi, Kelly. Rewatch with a child without having emergency comfort food. I know, right? The thing that destroys, it's the nothing. If that's like not a moniker for like depression, I don't know what is. Oh, nice, Emily. Oh, how do you like it, Josephine? All right, so we're gonna do the dark English green, but we are going to press even harder with this now. Because the goal is to kind of smooth that out. And then we'll either use the middle verdigris or we'll do the pink white, but it does need to be darker. See, it's just not quite even yet, but we're gonna get it there. And then let's get the, what was that? The dark sap green. But yeah, it was just a really interesting read, to be sure. And it was a short read. But yeah, if you have Audible, it's free in the Audible library. Okay, so we're going to get the middle verdigris. And we are just going to kind of smooth this out a bit. You can see there's a lot of like pencil kind of crumbling up, but that's okay. It's because we're pressing so hard. Like I said, the plan is just to smooth things out at this point. I went a little over the line, but that's okay. Oh, the music stopped. I just realized that. Hold up. There we go. Oh, nice, Kelly. This is an all of ACOTAR series. This seems yes, yes, and I think that's why a lot of people liked it, because it was a bit of fresh air. There's a lot more like fade to black scenes, and it's like you can concentrate on the storyline a little bit more. So yes, I think of all of her series between Court of Thorns and Roses, Throne of Glass, and Crescent City. Throne of Glass is easily her best. I feel like the characters just have so much more depth. Okay, so we're using the middle verdigris to kind of smooth this out. Now, if you do not have Lumies, but you still want to follow along, Prismacolors will work just fine for this. We're still in frame? Yes. Well, yeah, Kelly, if it makes you feel any better, I have had no time for coloring outside of stream, so I feel ya. I feel ya. I'm definitely still creating, which is nice, but yeah. Life just gets in the way sometimes. But in a good way. So I am pressing pretty hard. I wish, I've said it multiple times, I wish that there was like a way, like a pressure scale under here that we could all have, so that like I could tell you like an exact number of the amount of pressure that I'm putting on. Yeah, that's smoothing out much better. I like that. And when we're done with the teapot, it's not gonna look quite as flat. It's gonna look a bit more rounded. Exactly, exactly. Cards for my daughter's company. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So this side is lighter, but that's partially because like we've got the steam. We're gonna probably bring in a little bit of darkness there. But we're just using this middle verdigris to kind of smooth everything out. We'll look at the other side, the paper we have in between here in a second, and I'll show you why you want to have that piece of paper between it. Because of that. So that's all pressed from this. And these were actually done with the Lumies also. On a chore block, yep. Bye, Francis, get some sleep. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, peacock green would be perfect for this, absolutely. All right, so let's see. Actually, let's blend out this here, and then we'll add a little bit more of that dark sap green. You know, the funny thing is, oh, I just went over the line, so the funny thing is, at the end of last stream, I was like, oh, we could do the gel pen now because, you know, it'll have time to dry and I won't smear it. And then when I was following up with the white paint on here, I smeared it anyway. Okay, so we're gonna do the dark sap green. Okay. Just a little bit of that shadow. We're gonna do the same thing here. Like I said, we want it to be much darker. But it's always fun to kind of come up with a different kind of background for these. I did a poll a while back that, you know, was like, what are some things that people would like to learn or feel like, you know, they want to improve on? And backgrounds was a big thing. It was a big thing. Okay, so we're using that dark English green. So it just kind of makes sense to dedicate some streams to doing backgrounds, if nothing more than to help people kind of think outside the box. And if they're, you know, if backgrounds are something that they want to do. I don't always do them. In fact, probably more often than not, I don't do them these days. That is true, Renee. That is true. Okay, so we're using the dark English green. And we're going to smooth that out just a bit. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's do a little bit of the dark sap green. It definitely can. Let's see where. Oh, the Christmas. Oh, sorry, I was messing with the mic. The Christmas book. Oh yeah, I've seen her posting about that one. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do the dark sap green. A little bit. Like I said, I wanted the shadow for this one to kind of lift off the page. Okay. Let's see. Middle verdigris. Okay. Am I done with this? I think I'm happy with the background for now. I may add more once we get the rest of it all colored, but I think I'm pretty happy for this. Thanks. Sometimes just seeing the process helps it not be as intimidating. Okay, so thank you. We're actually gonna add just a little bit of the, what was this one? This is the ultramarine pink, a subtle pink. Kind of add a little bit more to the steam. There we go, and then we'll get the pink white. There we go. I like that. All right, so now let's move on up to this. So for our colors that we chose, oh, fun! Getting new glasses, nice. Thanks, Emily. Okay, so we're gonna give this a quick sharpen. So we have black, we have sepia, we have warm earth 70 and warm earth 40. So let's start with our sepia. We're gonna get a nice sharp point here. Okay. And we'll go ahead and zoom in because we're gonna start with this and then we'll work on the rest of our wood grain here. Let's see, are we in focus? Yes, and let's make it just a touch brighter. Okay, so we sort of covered it up. It was not feeling the cover up today, but we're not gonna press super hard yet because we don't wanna scrape off any of the paint. So we're gonna start with sepia. And because our light is coming from the right-hand side on, where the teapot is, we're gonna have our shadows follow suit on that. So imagine, I know I'm kind of turning it, but I need to work on that for, comfortability of the wrist. Anyway, so we're gonna imagine that the darkest shadow part is going to be on the left-hand side. And because this is slightly raised, we will in fact have that left-hand shadow. So we're just gonna start by lightly going in with our darkest brown here. We can always add black later if we feel like we need to. Now you could also paint this like it's a design painted on the wood, but from the beginning, all I've seen is just, make it part of the wood. Like, not quite a carving because that would indicate that it's within the wood, but more so sitting on top. So, like I said, we're using sepia. I'm not pressing super hard because I want to build this up slowly. And to be honest, even if you were feeling a little intimidated by the pencil, because this is a flatter background, meaning there's not a lot of intricate stuff in the back, you could always do this background with paint. You don't necessarily have to do it with pencil. Okay. Okay, let's see, let's do these leaves. Okay. Let's see, these little swirls that are just singular lines, I'm gonna leave those alone for now. And we will address them once we have more of our wood grain. We may even just ignore them completely, but we'll see. Let's see, it's a little here. Okay. See, there you go. And you've always got some wherever you end up going. Okay, sorry, no, I'm not saying much because I'm in concentrate mode. Okay. All right, now we're actually gonna go in with our lightest color, the Warm Earth 40. Gonna give it a quick sharpen. Thank you, Kathleen. Exactly. No, not quite a wood burnt effect. Because again, wood burning would be going inside. So let me actually grab, okay, wood applique. Okay, so, all right, this one looks more like it. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna pop this up so you guys can see what I'm going for here. Okay. Hold tight. Where did it go? Dang it! I thought I saved it to my desktop. Oh, it's because it's an AV one. Okay, well just go to Google and type in wood applique, A-P-P-L-I-Q-E, and that will show you what it is. Exactly, there you go. Okay, so sepia, because the idea is we want to create lift, not within the wood. All right, then we're gonna do Warm Earth 40, and we're gonna fill it in completely. Obviously it's not done yet, but we're just sort of building it up here. Oh, this part here needs to have a little bit of that sepia. There we go. Thanks, Renee. Okay. And it's nice to get this done and out of the way. That way you can work the wood grain around it when you're all done. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna grab the Warm Earth 70. Gonna give it a quick sharpen here. You got a nice sharp point. Okay. So this is gonna kind of act as our mid color. I think I'll probably do French dips for dinner tonight for us, like French dip sandwiches. Get like a hoagie roll and some beef, and you make an au jus like dipping sauce to go with it, with some Swiss. It's actually pretty simple to make, but it always is really tasty. But it's nice because less time spent in the kitchen means more time working on the painting. We have also pulled pork on the menu for this week, but I just gotta find the time to get it in the crock pot. Oh, nice, Alex. Renee, I saw this thing the other day. No idea if it's right, but apparently flies, like house flies, can't see the color white. So like you can sneak up on them with a paper towel. I don't know. I haven't tested it myself. We haven't really had any flies in the house as of late, but that's just because you open the door and a bajillion fly in. So we try not to open the door unless we have to. Okay, I'm gonna leave this for now. It's not done. We still need to blend it out and add extra layers, but now that we have this part colored, we need to go in with our wood grain and kind of start planning the rest of it. Welcome back, Kara. All right, so we are gonna start with sepia. Now you can always look up, let's see, we'll probably have this section going down, but you can always look up wood grain to kind of get an idea about how you want to do it. But you don't want perfectly straight lines. You know, maybe you'll put some knots in the wood at some point, but I'm not even going to look at a reference picture when we do this. So we're just gonna wing it. So I'm just doing light sketches with the sepia pencil. And remember, part of our shelf is going over the very bottom of the teacup. So it can, I was like, oh, did somebody copy and paste? But you guys literally all spelled it the same. Right, so it looks like it's up on a higher shelf because we can't see the bottom of the shelf. So like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't all have to be in the same line. We're just trying to give it some wood grain texture. Now I'm going to go darker on the very bottom of this. Okay, and then we're coming into our steam here. So I'm actually probably going to leave it lighter around the outside like we did on the background and kind of work it all in. And then the gouache that we put on the background should help add to the texture of the wood. Stop and say hi. Sorry, I can't stay. I have a house full of toddlers, but I'm excited to watch the replay. I'm looking forward to. Oh, awesome. Perfect. Enjoy your toddler time. Take a nap later when you're all done, because you'll probably need it. Okay. All right, that's good enough for now. Now we're gonna take the Warm Earth 70 and we are gonna sort of, now it's not a super different brown, especially when you're doing it just as light as this, but we are going to kind of follow along with that. Because it also doesn't have to be an exactly straight line. Like you can have it angled down. And you can always look at like wood grain images on Google if you're trying to figure out how you want to place this. But this is just us kind of mapping in those lines very lightly. And then we'll probably have where this connects with the shelf, we'll probably have it with just a bit of shadow. So that's the Warm Earth. Okay. Go, turn it again. Exactly. Yeah, a little bit of butterflies. Okay, so now that we've got this kind of mapped in, we're gonna grab the Warm Earth 40, okay, and we're gonna fill in the entire space. We're gonna go over everything. You can even go over the butterfly. But this is our base color, and so it's gonna go everywhere. Okay, again, we're going pretty light right now. Trying to remember to shift my paper. I might do this while we work on this. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go in with some more sepia, but we're not necessarily gonna go in the exact same places. We're gonna go close by, but we are going to darken up some of these grain lines. Like, we could even, because I've got this frame. So yeah, this has got wood grain. So you have some like long ovals, you've got some streaks, you've got this kind of curved shape, so you can really add in anything. And I mean, you've even got this texture here. Now I think these holes of the tree are filled in with some sort of resin, but it gives you an idea. Like no one piece of wood is the same. I mean, look at this, there's not hardly any except a few knots right there. So it's something to think about when you're doing it. Right, it would, it'd be so cute. Oh. It's fun, you just gotta take your time, think it out. So we're actually going to kind of copy that one, and we're going to do a bit of a lengthy oval there. We're going to throw in a few knots. We've got one over here already. Maybe we won't close that knot all the way. Okay, we're going to redefine that part there. Okay, let's see, let's do a bit of a curved one there, and then another curve there. Like I said, we're not looking at any reference pictures really, we're just sort of just going with the flow. I might need to go get some more water here in a minute. All right, so now we're gonna do Warm Earth 70. And again, the browns, the sepia and this one aren't super different. So I'm gonna go more on the sides so I get a little bit thicker lines. So I'm just holding my pencil back a bit further. Okay. Again, I'm leaving a little bit of white space where the steam is. Okay, let's do a little bit over here. Like I said, I'm not following any particular pattern. Okay, so I want to make sure that this looks like this lifts off a little bit. So we're actually going to go ahead and take the Warm Earth 70. And now that we've got the wood grain down, we can kind of trace over these vines with the Warm Earth because we're going to do a shadow with this so it emphasizes that it's lifting off the page, or, you know, that it's raised higher than the cabinet line. go. All right, so let's get do I want violet gray? No, we're gonna get French gray 30. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you'll get lighter layers the further back you hold your pencil. Okay, see, and once we have this in too, we can get a little bit more of a vision for this green part. Like, I feel like this is gonna need a darker green underneath to emphasize that that's under the underside of the shelf. So let's get the, what did I say? I said French gray 30. Let's see, French gray 30. Yep, we got it. Okay, how are we doing on time anyway? 11:30 already? When did that happen? Well, either way, 11:30 or not, we're gonna be finishing like this background portion in this shelf for sure. Okay, so now we're doing the French gray 30%. Okay, and we are just doing this on the left side of these pieces. We're not gonna do it on the right side. Okay, a little bit for the antenna. And the idea is it will look like it is slightly raised. And we want to get these shadows in before we add in the rest of our color so that we have something to build off of and emphasize as we go along. Let's see. Do some over here. Sorry, I know I'm quiet. I get in the zone, man. Okay, see how that's kind of lifting just a little bit? Exactly. Oh, thanks. That's the goal. All right, so we want to darken it up a little bit more. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's get raw umber, actually. I think raw umber would be a good one for it. And that is, let's do raw umber 50%, which is number 846. There it is, 846. Okay. Quick sharpen on this one. We're gonna press a little bit harder with this one. Okay. So probably gonna hold it further back again. And part of that is because I just want to get slightly thicker lines, but still have the the point on the pencil. So we're gonna go right up to the butterflies. Thanks, Mona. Like I said, once we use our blender on it too, it is going to pop significantly, but that's why I want to get most of our grain down before we start smoothing things out. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and use our blender now, and then we'll add more to it here in just a bit. So for me, the blender isn't necessarily the last step, but you also do want to have your finish line in sight once you start using it, because once you add the blender, you will be limited as to how many layers you can put on top of it. All right, so we'll be able to see how much this kind of pops after applying this. So we're going to use the blender. Okay, and then we can adjust as we go along. Now look at that, that's interesting. The warm earth, when you use the blender on it, is much more red than I considered. All right, now I don't necessarily want to just go over the butterfly and stuff because it will muddy the lines of it and it will just look kind of blurry and kind of messed up. Go. Okay. Ooh. You got your quilt, Sarah Hosteen! Yay! Congratulations! love adding new squares. Seriously though, I'm gonna need to, it's pretty full, and I have a couple down here of ones that I still need to do, plus I think we have 1 or 2 extra additional ones, but yeah, we're gonna need to add more. I swear my hair was curled today. My hair is so straight, it just, anyway. Woohoo! Right, I love the blender so much. Okay. All right, first blending level is done. It's getting very full. Yes, it's exciting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to pin them up here shortly. Okay, so we're gonna go back to sepia. Okay. And we are going to start emphasizing some of the darker points. So we're definitely gonna do that edge because it will be connected to the wall there. Okay, these knots are going to get a little bit of attention. Yeah, that's funny. I had no idea that warmer, I mean, it makes sense because like when they make like cool gray or, you know, using cool colors, that's with blue. Warm gray is using red and French gray is using yellow. So it makes sense that there's red. I just never really thought about it all that much. Okay, let's see. Let's do a little bit there. I'm not really putting any wood grain in with the applique because I feel like that's going to muddy the lines a little bit too much. Okay. Over here. There we go. All right, so now let's grab, what else did I have? I had dark flesh, 40 and 70. Let's grab the raw umber 50. Okay, raw umber 50. Sorry, I had to make sure that's what I was holding. Okay, and we're gonna go in a little bit harder now. Okay, we're gonna go over the lighter spaces that are here because we're definitely going to need to add a bit more shadow. Okay. All right, now let's do Warm Earth 70. Okay. Oh yeah, I can see that now. There's definitely some red to it. Okay, then let's get the, oh actually, you know what? We're gonna add a little bit more over here. All right, then we're gonna do the French Gray 30s. You know, actually, let's grab the French Gray just by itself. Okay. All right, so French Gray by itself is number 808. Oh, I got 2 of them. Okay. Thanks, Leanne. Well, really, I just like, I would stare at this page and I was like, okay, what could I do with this little thing that's here? Because I didn't like the idea of it just floating in the sky. Now we're getting a little bit of light glare here. That's better. Yeah, that's okay. Make sure we're in focus still. Yes, all right. Okay, so we're gonna emphasize, so we're using French Gray now. We're gonna press a little bit harder. We're gonna try and emphasize lifting this from the page a bit. And then we're going to darken the sides of the leaves and such as well. Okay, so let's go back to our darkest one that we chose, which was sepia. I'm going to blend that real quick, get a nice sharp point. Bye, Josephine. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Angela. All right, so we're gonna use the sepia. Okay. We might actually even use just a little bit of black. Maybe, we'll see. Let's get the sepia down and we'll see how I feel about it. So we're just trying to emphasize the edge of where these individual shapes are. Okay. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, the actual details within the leaves don't have to be super refined. You're just trying to make the basic shape stand out a bit. Help kind of lift it off the page. Go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now let's go in with, what do we have? French gray, raw umber. Yeah, actually, I want to get raw umber 10, which is number, where'd it go? Number 842. This one here. It's definitely lighter than I would like at this point, but we're gonna get closer. All right, so raw umber, we're gonna use that to kind of, because we've already used our blender. So we are just gonna use this raw umber to kind of soften some edges, fill in some gaps. Then we're gonna go in with our darker browns one more time and kind of just give it a bit more depth. Okay. All right, so let's do raw, let's see. Yeah, let's do raw umber 50%. Cool, first one I grabbed. Yay! All right, so raw umber 50. Okay, and I just want to make it darker on the ends. We'll probably go in with the Warm Earth 70 or the sepia, one of the sepias. Again, it's okay that I'm going over the line a little bit. We still have this piece of wood to do. Plus, having the darker edges, you're kind of sending your eye, like the viewer's eye, in, so it's focusing on the details of the butterfly and such as well. Okay, so now let's grab let's see, what did I say? Warm Earth 70. Okay, so we're going to darken this up just a bit more. Emphasize some of this green. Okay. Oh, went over on that one. It's okay though. I wasn't pressing that hard, so honestly, we could probably erase that. Okay. Do I like that? I think I like that. Let's see. We'll grab sepia. Okay, same thing this other side, just emphasizing a few things. Okay, now let's grab this is the, let's see, raw umber 10%. Thanks, Cece. Raw umber 10%, because it is one of the lightest colors. We're going to be right up against that steam, and then we are going to grab, let's do the ultramarine pink that we used before, just a little bit, not even any specific shapes, just a little bit of it. Then we're going to use the pink white. It's This always makes me nervous with a fancy pencil when there's a chunk of wood coming out. Oh my God, please don't break. Okay, so we're just kind of lightening that edge. However, that doesn't mean we want this line to disappear completely. So let's get the French Gray 30. Okay, this is the edge of the wood here. And we're just gonna very lightly bring it through. Because yeah, it's pretty steamy, but it's not completely obscured. So we're just bringing a little bit of that border in. Okay, now we're gonna grab our pink white and just go over that just a bit. There we go, I like that. So it has its shape still kind of there, but it's also kind of not there because it's steamy. Okay, so now I think I'm pretty happy with the wood. We can always adjust it later if we need to, but now that we have that in, I can see a little bit more of an eye of how I want to, oh perfect, well it works for me, how I want the background to be fixed a bit. So we're actually gonna bring in some black for this green background now. So we got our handy dandy little cutesy black. We're gonna, we'll just use it by hand. I don't want to move that one. All right, so we're going to add the black here. I want to get a defined line. So there's definitely some overhang. Okay. Still going to stop a little bit short of the steam there. Look at the chat here in just a second. Aw, thanks, Callie. All right, so now we're gonna do dark sap green. Kind of smooth out that black. Now remember, we've already done a lot of layers on this background. So like, do you see how it kind of crumbles and shifts it a little bit? That's kind of the waxy buildup. So we do need to be careful how much more we add. All right, so I'm gonna give this a quick sharpen. Ah, sounds good, Leanne. Enjoy your trip. Well, I mean, you're not going far, but you know, everybody loves a good shopping trip. Chat with you later. All right, we're gonna give that a quick tighten. Okay, so we're using that dark English green. And it's messing with the wax on top, but I'm also just going kind of slow, so it should still move it around to where I want it to be. Okay, and this edge is going to get darker as well. If we weren't at about our limit of layers, I would consider adding gray on top, but I think we're gonna leave it with kind of this richer color. Okay, let's see. Let's add a little bit more here. Okay, and then I want to redefine this line just a bit. There we go. Okay, let me see. Sometimes it's nice for me to be able to see it in the camera because I can kind of look at it from far away. All right, I think that works. I think that this will look, because right now the teapot look is very, very flat. Like it does not have much shaping short of the color here. So once we keep working on it and we add the white and we add some of the glares and everything, plus the walls and the floor of it, I think it's gonna pop just a little bit more. Hi, Michelle. Thanks, Leanne. So one of the other things that I wanted to point out, which I thought of when I did the white line on the inside of the teapot, and I didn't want to do it yet because we didn't know the exact shades of color we were going to be using, but because I am drawing this as a glass teapot that's filled with some sort of magical tea, this part here is going to be kind of like the edge of the pot, so that's not actually going to have any liquid in it. So this outside part is actually going to end up kind of green. So let's grab the dark English green. Okay, now it's going to stop right here because that's where this stops, and I'm probably going to have this be wood, probably a darker wood. Sounds good, Emily. Thanks for being here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this dark English green. Not going to press super hard, but we are going to bring it up like so. Same thing with here. However, we're going to skip and start it here, because if this is going to show the background, it's sure as heck going to show the handle. So I'm going to skip that one spot and we're going to go down, but we're not going to meet it completely. So same thing here. Okay, the handle plus right there. Okay. So we're going to do some of that dark English green down here at the curve. Bring it back up. Now you can always do white on the edge of the teapot as well, but for now we are just going to leave it. Okay. Bring that up like so. Same thing here. Now if you want to imagine that the lid is kind of partially in there, you could end your line of green there, and that can act as a part of a lid. Now we would leave this white until we have the lid figured out. Hi, Casey. Okay, let's see. I'm pretty sure I missed saying hi to people, but hello. All right, so what we're gonna go ahead and do now is grab that dark, or not dark, the middle verdigris is what we're gonna grab. And we're still gonna go pretty light here because this is just supposed to show kind of a correlation between the background and the glass because you can see through it. So just gonna do that. All right, now let's grab our blender. Where did it go? Here we go. Make sure there's no brown on the tip. Okay, now this is gonna be pretty dark, but we're actually gonna come back over this with white as well because it's not meant to be all that dark. Okay, we just want kind of a subtle reflection. So now we're gonna grab the white. Oh my gosh, Sue, I feel you on that so much. All right, so let's do the white. Okay. And number one, we're using it to smooth it out. And don't press too hard on the paint that you put on there because that may scrape it off just a little bit. But we're just going for something kind of subtle to help showcase the background behind the teapot. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm not doing any more on the inside of the teapot yet because we haven't finished these leaves yet, but we're gonna get a little bit of a white glow, and honestly, we'll probably use some gouache for that, but we'll get a little bit of a white glow here, and then we're gonna be doing a reflection also. But that won't happen until we get the inside done. Let's do our white there. So I'm pretty happy, happy-ish. Because I'm happy-ish. Let's see, I want to emphasize the shadow behind this spoon just a bit. There we go. Okay, then we'll get the dark English green. Right? There you go. Okay, let's see, this needs to meet it completely. Okay. And we're probably not going to do words on stream today because I'm still fighting that headache, so I need to go drink some more water and rest just a little bit before I go to get the kids. But I wanted to make sure that we did this page justice before we called it a day. All right. Let's see. You know what I think might be cool too? When it comes time for us to do the spoon, we'll do it all silver, but we'll do it kind of like we did the applique. But did I ever end up using the blender on the butterfly? I can't remember. Ooh, not wrong one. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. I was looking right at it. Black Widow. She-Hulk, Poison Ivy, right? Oh, there you go, Kelly. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and make it a silver spoon. but obviously like we want the design still on it. So it'll be like a casted silver spoon. But yeah, I think that would be fun. Okay. All right. Are we starting to see the vision for it here? Thanks, Kathleen. I will in probably a couple hours. It is what it is. So we're going to be doing that same kind of wood grain on the outside here. I'll wait and do that with you guys for those that missed it. We'll probably do a darker green for the inside, like the shelf and the inside walls. And then we'll do this same green up top. Or might do a different green. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Get a little bit of light glare, but yeah, kind of get where it's going. Anyway, bye, Callie. Thanks for being here. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap that up here. We're going to be live again on Friday. Thank you, Kelly, where we will be working on this together, and hopefully I'll have some more painting progress to show you guys. But yeah, so I'm going to head out. Excited. We got a quilt square add-on for Britt, and we redeemed a quilt square for Christine. So excited to get those. Hopefully I'll have them by Friday. If not, I'll have them by Wednesday. Anyway. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your week. Hang in there. A couple days from Friday. Shooting for that weekend. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in a couple days. All right, bye.